When did you know that you were being called to be a pastor?
That was quite a process, how God called me in the ministry. When I was in college, I grew a lot in my relationship with the Lord in college. And I was praying, God, do you want me in the ministry? My roommate had felt the call, and he had gone in the ministry. And I said, God, do you want me to do that too? And I never got any kind of direction from the Lord that I was supposed to do that. So I went back to Houston after I graduated, went back home and got a job, and got involved in the church at Champion Forest Baptist Church. And then I met Debbie soon after, and we got married, after that, and started having kids. And then I began working in the chemical business, and things were going well, and I was doing well in the company. I began to teach a married adult Sunday school class, and man, I just loved doing that. And I would think, as I would drive to work on Monday, I would just do my Sunday school class in the car again, and I would think, I wish I could teach this again. That's what I'd really like to do. And I started getting what Henry Blackaby calls a holy restlessness, where I was just, it's like I'm made for more than what I'm doing. And I don't want to be 70 years old looking back on my life and saying, I just played it safe, because the company paid me well and things were comfortable. But I thought, I'm not being fulfilled. And as I began to pray, it was about a 2-year process. As I began to really pray, I would think, what do I really want to do? And there were 2 things I really wanted to do. If I could do anything in life, I wanted to play professional basketball for the Houston Rockets, and I didn't think that was going to happen. And then number 2, I wanted to preach, and I wanted to be in the ministry. And it was in July of 1995 on a Wednesday night. I was at church, and a friend of mine, Rich Halcomb, was preaching, and he talked about getting out of the boat and talked about God calling you to do something special and maybe even calling you in the ministry. And during the prayer time after that sermon is when the Lord clearly called me. And I said, God, you're calling me in the ministry, and I surrender my life to do that. And that was when the Lord just spoke to my heart, and he said, I've been waiting for you to make that decision. Now we got a deal. And I had to go home and tell Debbie that, and she didn't want to be in the ministry, and so it was a process for her. But after some months of praying and really seeking the Lord, he made it clear to her that that's what he wanted for us. And so we, about 6 months later, went off to seminary.